Hello and welcome back to more Let's Watch Death Battle. I am the Max View Trades, and this part we will be watching a surprising fight that I was not anticipating, actually. It is the Soldier of Tomorrow, Captain America, versus the Dark Knight Batman. He's Batman. And it's a funny thing. We actually, the members of the research team that I'm a part of, we actually didn't know that this fight was even going to happen, and here's why. There's actually a reason, we were told later. This is actually a fight that they had on the back burner in reserve just in case something terrible went down, and like you may or may not have known, the creator of Death Battle, who edited this all together, actually had a hard drive failure, which basically set them back a bit, so using the reserve fight that they already had all the research for long before we were part of the show is what they decided to go with. This episode was apparently planned out before Batman vs. Spider-Man was, and that is another interesting factor. This is the first time we'll be having a Death Battle combatant come back from the dead to come and fight someone else. Will he be able to avenge his loss again at the hands of Spider-Man? Huge spoilers if you never saw that one. Sorry, but Spider-Man won that fight. And I gotta tell you, I'm not too sure. Here's what I do know. The reason that Batman lost to Spider-Man is that when he has no idea who it is he's fighting, the only real advantage he has in a fight, you know, other than just being really freaking strong and fast for a normal guy, is his stealth. But Spider-Man's, spider sense completely nullified that entirely, making it essentially completely useless. Which is why that he was never able to get a good opening on him, which is why Batman could never really do any real solid damage against Spider-Man, which ultimately meant he lost. Now, while I like Captain America, and he is stronger and faster than the average human, I think the fact that Batman will be able to more reliably use his stealth abilities will probably play a much larger role in whether or not he can win. At the very least, it is a much, much closer fight than most people would probably think it is. It's definitely closer than it was with Spider-Man. That was just not fair. So, I suppose it's time to stop talking and actually watch this thing. Let's do it. Alright, the Super Soldier versus the Dark Knight. Good luck to both.
Defending the weak from powerful agents of evil demands a champion who has achieved the peak of human capability. All in the name of justice. And sometimes vengeance.
Batman, the Dark Knight.
And Captain America, the Sentinel of Liberty.
Oh, that's a nickname I haven't heard from before.
And
that's pretty
it's
cool.
our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a
But yeah, two
battle.
peak humans fighting it out. This is gonna be something.
I'm
interested in seeing what they have to say about Batman, considering they've done it before already.
The cold, black hearts of even the most hardened criminals. The Batman.
But becoming a 6-foot flying rat of vengeance comes at a cost. For 8-year-old Bruce Wayne, it was helplessly watching as his parents were gunned down in front of him on the way back from the theater. That poor kid, that opera really must have scarred him.
Bruce's genius-level intellect
It would
and
scar
physical
me.
prowess allowed him to pick up a vast array of skills on his global journey to become the Dark Knight.
Hooray for money!
He became an expert in the art of disguise and a master of every fighting style known to man. He's perfected
Which I don't know if that's possible,
sword
but
fighting,
good on
detective
him.
skills, stealth, has a photographic memory, earned 12 master's degrees, is an expert marksman, and is vastly knowledgeable in pressure points.
And we're positive he's not superhuman.
Officially, no, he's not, but he has learned to appear so in the minds of his opponents. Having been trained by the League of Assassins, Batman's greatest weapon is fear.
All it takes is a glimpse.
Which I've never entirely understood. I mean, he can beat you up, but he's not that scary looking to
He
me.
can disappear and reappear in an instant.
Then again, I guess I've never angered him.
Stealth and the high-tech gadgets he keeps in his utility belt. Like his bat claw grappling hook, smoke pellets, tons of different batarangs, and shock gloves.
Well, I remember
Hey, don't
those!
underestimate the shock gloves. They release a charge powerful enough to penetrate Kevlar, and even stop the heart of one of Batman's most powerful enemies, Bane.
But then he restarted it because he's nice like that.
But Captain America's suit can resist electricity. I looked that up. I know that much.
I'm surprised Batty didn't pull something out of the utility belt to stop that one, considering it seems to contain anything Batman could ever need, even shark repellent.
Yeah!
Actually, that's a common misconception. The shark repellent was stored in the helicopter that Robin was flying, not Batman's utility belt.
Oh yeah, because that makes it so much less ridiculous.
Batman also carries explosive gel. A cluster of this substance can be sprayed onto nearly any surface.
Gotta wonder if there's a
and
real-world
detonated.
equivalent to that.
Perfect for distractions.
Or, blowing shit up. Tip for criminals, if you know Batman's after you, avoid anything shaped like a bat.
You'd think that'd be obvious.
Somebody in here.
Oh. Hello. I'm Batman. Nope. He ain't having it.
Something wrong? Nope.
Awesome.
Bruce chose the guise of a bat to project his own fear of the flying mammal onto his enemies. However, that's not the Batsuit's only purpose.
It's
Thanks
pretty
to
dang good armor
military-grade
too.
armor he stole from his own company with Morgan Freeman's permission. The Batsuit is almost completely bulletproof, knife-proof,
And Morgan Freeman is God, so...
punch-proof, dog-proof, and theft-proof.
Inside Batman's cowl is an array of high-tech gear commonly used for listening to police scanners and communicating with allies. But in combat, Batman finds more use in its night, infrared, and ultraviolet vision. Also, its built-in triangulation imaging system, which hacks into the world's cell phones and creates a digital 3D map.
You mean
I
you
did
can
not
see
know he had that.
everything I do just because I have a phone?
More or less.
Ask him where I left my keys.
Aside from mass invasion of privacy, Batman's resume includes such accomplishments as dodging Darkseid's virtually unavoidable Omega beams, withstanding the vacuum of space for 24 seconds,
Wow.
and breaking free from a coffin buried 6 feet underground in a straitjacket after being deprived
I
of
think
sleep for
DC's
days,
trying a
all
little
while
too
having a
hard to make
content
Batman
unknown
look
bug in
awesome.
his system, along with the Joker's
As if he
latest
needs to
Venom
look any more
costume.
cool.
What the fuck? Are we positive that we're positive he's not superhuman?
Alligator.
Well, given his line of work, I wouldn't be surprised if he stumbled into a room filled with gamma rays or something like that, but underneath the Batsuit, he is affected by knives and bullets the same as any other mortal man. Even though he usually comes out victorious, his self-confidence occasionally puts him in life-threatening situations he can't escape without help.
Like Bane's thank you spine durability test.
But the Cape
They really
Crusader has
undersold that
consistently
scene, in my
found a way
opinion.
to survive even the most life-threatening situations.
And Bats has no problem continuously going toe-to-toe with evil in the name of justice. Vengeance.
From this moment on, none of you are safe.
Ooh. Intimidating voice, I'll give him that much. The
Born
Captain!
to poor Irish immigrants in Manhattan on July 4th, 1920, Stephen Rogers
He
grew
was
up
born
with
on the
little
4th of
money,
July?
few friends,
And even fewer muscles. Good God, is that Steve Rogers or Jack Skellington? Somebody get that kid a sandwich.
but his sheer willpower,
Looks
selflessness,
unhealthy.
and desire for justice stood out. As those around him left to serve in the Second World War, Rogers was desperate to fight for his country. But due to his lacking physique and health problems, he was turned away
Which he
from
had
every
almost
single
all of.
military organization.
It's weird.
Multiple times.
Meanwhile, Hitler was creating a new group of super Nazis with lasers called Hydra.
Desperate to combat this new threat,
He's not wrong.
Uncle Sam began the top-secret Project Rebirth. It looked like Rogers would finally get his chance to be the hero after all, provided he survived an untested, unstable, unprecedented experiment.
After an injection of some mystery
It
juice
worked.
and tanning in some Vita rays, Rogers lived! And as a plus became a Nazi-annihilating, terrorist-thrashing symbol of freedom, Captain America!
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 Yeah! Eagles and guns! America!
The Super Soldier Serum pushed Steve's body to the absolute limit of human physical and mental potential.
A homeless guy sold me a super serum once. I woke up in Denny's a week later without my wallet.
With his new body,
Don't go
Rogers
to
can bench
Denny's.
press 1,100 pounds and run a mile in 73 seconds. By comparison, the bench press world record without the aid of a bench shirt is Eric Spoto's 722 pounds. And the fastest mile run belongs to Hisham.
So I was right. He is
at
better
3
than the
minutes,
peak
43
humans.
seconds.
Okay.
That makes Rogers nearly twice as strong and over 3 times as fast as the most physically fit human beings in the world.
He
Impressive.
can even dodge gunfire at point-blank range by, in his own words, seeing faster.
Which is the absolute stupidest way of saying that his brain can process images faster than a normal human.
Putting
the
his
point
capabilities
across.
to good use, he's adept in every single form of hand-to-hand combat known to man. That's right, I bet you didn't know that
Adept,
Captain
but not a
America
master.
was a ninja.
Jiu-jitsu? Kung
Gotta look for
Fu?
those details.
Krav Maga?
All of the above.
Despite his incredible physical potential, the military initially decided Super Steve was best suited as the U.S. Army poster boy.
That suit looks like it was ripped from
That
a
was weird.
patriotic circus.
It was.
Really? Well, at least he upgraded to suits not made from circus.
a good movie.
later on.
No, they were too.
What kind of circus would make a costume with Kevlar Nomex and lightweight titanium that's resistant to fire, water, and electric shocks?
Some call it World War II.
Oh, I get it.
But the most iconic aspect of Cap's attire is his famed
Oh.
shield. Composed of proto-adamantium and a mysterious metal from space called vibranium,
I
This
want one.
one-of-a-kind shield was presented to him personally by none other than the 32nd President of the United States, Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
Neat.
And like a badass, Cap doesn't just use his shield for defending himself. He hurls that motherfucker at just about anything that moves.
The combination of the two metals allows the shield to absorb and reflect practically all kinetic energy and thus ricochet off multiple targets with only minor loss in velocity. Captain America utilizes this in combination
That's
with
why his bones
super
don't break when he
mind
gets hit.
to predict and calculate the shield's trajectory so that it always ends up back in hand, no matter how many targets it has struck.
Cap's shield can reflect anything from bullets to lasers, decapitate vampires, and stop a blow from Thor's hammer.
Yeah.
And if you recall, Mjolnir doesn't fuck around.
Yeah,
This giant
that's-
frisbee of freedom is so cool, even Superman wants one.
Ha!
Yes, I think it works.
Was that
But
really
it's not
necessary?
unstoppable. It's been damaged and even destroyed its fair share of times over the years, but only by cosmic or reality warping powers.
Yeah.
Luckily, Mr. America doesn't rely only on his shield.
He's boxed Thor to a standstill, was deemed worthy to wield Mjolnir, and has even managed to incapacitate the Hulk with his knowledge of pressure points.
Wait,
Wow.
go back to that second one. Did this guy just kick the Hulk in the dick? You've gotta be a real man to give the Green Goliath a nut check. I mean, that's the fastest way to piss off a dude, and who don't we like when they're angry? Balls of steel right there. Great big, eagle-shaped freedom balls of steel.
And to top everything off, not many superheroes can claim to have defeated the fearsome foursome of crack, weed, ice, and misfix. The literal personifications of actual street drugs.
And the asthma
So
monster.
you're telling me he's preaching an anti-drug message, knowing that drugs are the entire reason he became awesome?
I guess we can add hypocrite to his list of aliases. Despite
Little
being a
bit.
physically
Little
perfect
bit.
human, Captain America more or less has the same
Hey, Frank
weaknesses
West.
as any other man. His patriotic uniform can only protect him so much from stabbing weapons.
And sniper bullets. God knows he gets killed pretty good by those. Ah, weapons. My only weakness. How did you... No.
Yeah, that's
Even in
happened a
the
few
face of death,
times.
Captain America always stands for what the United States needs.
And sometimes that's serving Hitler an American-sized knuckle sandwich.
Who are you supposed to be?
Captain America.
I salute you, sir.
Alright, the combatants are set. Let's end this debate once and for all.
It's time for a death battle!
Not yet. Okay, let's talk about this for a second here. All right, okay. So, like I said before, they said Captain America is adept at all forms of martial arts, which means he's at least passingly familiar with all of them. However, they also specifically said that Batman was a master of all of them, right? Okay. Now here's the thing. Captain America's shield is practically indestructible. Unless you're a reality-warping cosmic being from across the stars, you're going to have a really hard time breaking it. So, that's the thing. His shield is unbreakable, but Captain himself, not so much, you know? Like they said, they're both pretty vulnerable, and Captain is naturally faster and stronger. However, I think, if we're going to be getting super nitty-gritty about all of this, okay, so Batman is a master of all martial arts. He's really, really good at stealth, and it's debatable whether or not if Spider-Man didn't have that spider sense, if Batman might have been able to beat him at the same time. So, while I love Captain America, but I also like Batman, of course. I mean, who doesn't like Batman? But I like Captain America, and I do think he's going to put up a really good fight. I do think eventually Batman just needs to distract, disarm, anything. Eventually, I think Batman will get a good opening, and he'll be able to do some serious damage, and I think when that happens, I think Batman might actually have this. I'm not positive on that, but I mean, I could see Captain America easily just overpowering the dude, just pulling him into submission, but I don't know, that's not really how the Captain goes about things. So, I suppose, instead of debating it inside my head, how about I actually just watch and see for myself? How about that? Alright, let's do this. Go. Alright. Is this 2D? Yeah, okay. It's weird, the backgrounds were like 3D, that was confusing. Alright.
Forward!
Boy's starting off throwing that shield like a boss. Punching like a crazy person. Oh. Batman's not having that. Batarangs useless. Ain't having your grappling hook. Back in the head. Ow. I don't care what kind of armor you're wearing, that has to hurt. Ooh. Ow. Oh, he's busting out the shock gloves.
Let's finish this. Hyper!
Oh boy. That is a lot of smoke. Captain, can you react? That's not good, is it? Explosive gel. Oh, and there goes the pressure points. And Batman has the shield. Yep, it's just over. Aw, real?
I
Dude!
pledge allegiance to the Cap, hanging miserably from the light post.
Captain America did have the endurance and power advantage, and Batman himself has admitted he could lose a hand-to-hand match against him. But there's a big difference between could and would.
I could survive the fall out of an airplane, but I wouldn't bet on it. Unless you're doing it, Wiz, you should totally try it. $5 if you make it.
You're an idiot, Boomstick. Also, the fact is, Batman is more than a boxer. His stealth and disarming skills allowed him to turn the fight in his favor.
Not to mention the gadgets. Just because Cap could see faster doesn't mean he could see hard enough to spot bats through a solid wall of smoke.
Batman also
If he had
regularly
natural
battles
heat
and
vision-
sneaks
no,
around super beings
Sir-
far above your average laser Nazi.
I'll talk later.
If he can ninja around Superman's super hearing, there's no reason he can't do the same to Captain America.
And of course, Batman has more knowledge about pressure points and fighting styles because he's mastered all of them rather than simply being adept, helping him incapacitate and finish off the Star-Spangled Soldier.
Captain America just couldn't hang in there.
The winner is
You
Batman.
did good, Cap. Nothing to be ashamed of.
Next time
Okay.
on Death Battle.
Is this the one I think it is this time? Yes, it is. Okay.
I have a guide here that will show you how to live from now on.
It might have been delayed, but you cannot stop the awesomeness that is what is about to be unfolded. Oh my goodness. I've watched my fair share of Gundam, thanks to this fight. And of course, bring in the guy I'm much more familiar with. Power Rangers.
White Ranger Tiger Power. White Ranger Tiger Power. Tiger Power now.
I think Gundam's gonna win. Just a
An
hunch.
idea for a death battle? Let us know in the comments below.
Like, subscribe, follow, and click the shiny pictures to keep watching more people kill each other.
Be sure to
for
do
your
that.
amusement. Thanks for watching. That was your line, my bad, Wiz.
Stealing my lines. You're an idiot.
Just
Boomstick.
like I steal the show. Haha! Subscribe because I'm better than Wizard.
Well, that's highly debatable. Okay. Whoa, hello. Get out of here, you. All right. Apparently an ad for the animator. You did a good job. That was a good fight. Okay, so let's talk about what we just saw here. I pretty much called it, I guess. Yeah. What I was trying to say is, if Captain America, if the super serum gave him natural infrared vision so he could just see right through the smoke, then maybe that would have worked out a little better. But as is, no. Natural human ability, you're just not going to be able to see that through that stuff. But Batman could, because it was built into his thing. In retrospect, I guess I kind of have to wonder why Captain America doesn't have that sort of tech inside his suit. I mean, I guess it's more of an Iron Man thing. Oh, and by the way, Iron Man would annihilate Batman. Just throwing that out there. Point is, yeah, okay. I can agree with how this fight turned out. It was a good one, though. Wow. I mean, I like Captain America. He is a cool dude. He could beat up a lot of different people, but the good news is, and I've said this before and I'll say it again, they've met in comics before, and they have thought, but they would never kill each other. They'd work together, and when they work together, all of the world's problems are probably going to be solved pretty soon. Just all I'm saying. Next time we are getting, like, I don't entirely remember the name of the Gundam itself, but the guy who pilots him is named Zex, or something like that. Not that. Zex. Let's just go with that. Versus Tommy Oliver and his White Tiger Zord from back in the old Mighty Morphin Power Ranger days. Oh yes, I remember those days quite clearly. From what I've researched, the Tiger Zord is significantly more huge, but at the same time, I think the Gundam has more to do. Either way, not that big a deal. We'll talk about that fight when it comes out. Right here, we're talking about Batman and Captain America. That was a fantastic fight. I hope you guys had a fantastic time. Please support Screw Attack, Death Battle, all that good stuff. It's a fantastic show, and you should definitely be paying attention to it. Seriously. Something very quickly before I end this off. I want to say something really quick. Just because a character loses a death battle does not mean that they aren't a good character. Okay? I just want to make sure you all know that. Okay? Captain America is a great character. No one's denying that. You heard them talk about how awesome he was. He just couldn't, in theory, beat Batman in a fictitious fight. Oh no, that doesn't nullify all of the freaking amazing things that Captain America has done. He threw his shield through a tank once, okay? I'm just saying. But the Captain is still an awesome character, and that means the same for all characters who lost. For example, Batman lost his last fight with Spider-Man, but he's still awesome. No one's gonna debate against that. So, if a character you like has lost a fight, try not to take it personally. The show isn't trying to insult or belittle them. That's all I have to say. Hope you guys had a fantabulous time. I'll see you all next time.